Good day all, welcome back to South Africa, and this is South African Prepper. So for today's video, I want to talk to you about 16 survival foods every prepper should have. So at this stage you need to quickly pause, get a pen and paper, and make some notes of the 16 items that we reckon every prepper should prep. So we've said it before in our previous videos over the years that there are fundamentals of prepping, and it relates to our basic human needs, and that is you can only go 3 minutes without air, oxygen. You can go 3 days without water, and you can go 3 days without food. So that is basic survival stuff. So we're going to jump into it. So item number one for us, which is quite important as a prepper, is oats. So these are common things that you can actually buy in every supermarket around the world. So item number one will be oats or rolled oats. Item number two, which is for us extremely important, is a powdered milk. So powdered milk you can use with various other food items. Number three for us are all of your canned meats and then canned vegetables. Now you can go for canned fruits as well. I do know that certain canned fruits do actually not last that much or that long. In the category of canned meats, we like to buy a lot of tuna as well, because the tunas do tend to last quite long. So when you buy your canned foods, you can always look on the back. You'll see the best before date. And most of the canned food in South Africa will normally last around about 4 or 5 years. So as long as you keep them cool and in a dry place and dry, they should last you quite a long time. The next item is honey. I've also, with honey, I've added canned condensed milk, something sweet. Honey will last you forever and a day. There's no expiry date on honey, so even if it goes and it stands quite a long time, it goes to sugar, but honey will not expire, and that's an absolute fact. The next item on our list for 16 survival foods every prepper should have is alcohol. Okay, clean alcohol, your brandies, your whiskies, your vodkas, your rums will work as well. So it's not for drinking and getting drunk. It will help you in disinfecting certain things if you do get into a tough situation. And alcohol during stressful times is always a good thing to have around. The next item on our list is some kind of a water filtration system. We said earlier on that you can only go without water for 3 days. So some kind of a water filtration system. So if you talk in terms of your bug out bag, you'll buy the little pills, or you can buy the little water filtration straws. And if you're talking about longer term, you would have filter systems to make sure that you can clean quite a lot of water. So when it comes to water filtration, you need a big spectrum or different things for different scenarios in your prepping crates or prepping areas. The next item are two items that we eat every single day in our personal home. That is rice. So rice is the one item. I'm not going to go into rice too much. And then dried beans. You can buy a whole lot of dried beans, and beans are extremely good for soups and for stews. The next item we have is pasta. Okay. If you buy in South Africa, if you get a whole lot of different types of pastas, and we've personally seen that if you do we vacuum seal all of our pastas. These pastas tend to last quite a long time, a couple of years. I think we've got pastas that's last us for up to 5 to 6 years. That is still edible and still good. Again, The trick here is to keep things dry, is to keep the temperature even wherever you store it. And if you can possibly keep it in a dark place, because when it's dark the temperature tends to be a bit more stable. The next item we have is herbs and spices. Now we can talk about herbs and spices for 2 days and 2 nights. So most important with the herbs and the spices is obviously salt. You can go quite far with salt, but have extra spices in. To eat dry beans and rice without salt and spices is not a nice thing. You have to try and make things palatable, and the nicer the food is during a shit eats the fan scenario, the better the morale will be within your family and within your prepping community. So, in spices, you've got meat spices, you've got oreganoms and sages, you've got fish spices, you've got chicken spices, you've got mint spices in South Africa. So a big variety. And spices, if you keep them in the original bottles when you buy them, they tend to last quite a long time. We in South Africa do not buy the refill packets that are where the spices are inside of a foil packet, because the mite tends to eat through that foil packet. So we tend to keep it in the original spice bottles that we buy in South Africa. The next item is vinegar. Vinegar is a disinfectant. You can actually preserve food in vinegar. So vinegar will also last forever and a day. Vinegar, we've had vinegar, I think, for 10 years now. And we actually opened one bottle the other day and it's still fine. So vinegar is quite an important thing to have. And then the next item is dried vegetables. Now, we do have a dehydrator here at home. We do dehydrate quite a lot of food, especially vegetables. So you can buy freeze-dried food as well, but we tend to prefer the dehydrated stuff. But that again is whatever works for you. So dried vegetables to add to your diet. Vegetables tend to have minerals and vitamins that our body actually need. The next item is vitamin pills. Okay, you get a whole lot of different vitamin pills. So go have a look at what vitamin pills will work for you. And then we have dried meats. Again, there you can have a variety of dried meats. We South Africans, we love our dried meats. Dried biltong, dried vors, or dried sausages. South Africans just love dried meats. And then on our next item on our list for 16 survival foods every prepper should have is powdered soups. Now again, there's different flavors, there's different types. Powdered soups will fill the gap in for your rice and beans being so dry, and it'll make it palatable, and it'll make your family a bit more happier. And then our last item on this list of 16 survival foods every prepper should have, it's not really a thing that you can eat, but we use this item every single day, and that is baking soda. Now please don't get baking powder confused with baking soda. Baking soda is something different, bicarbonated of soda. Okay, so go have a look at that. Baking soda, I drink a lot because I get heartburn, not because I'm fat, but just because I eat a little bit wrong sometimes. It's good for disinfection. You can actually clean your dishes, you can clean your clothing with baking soda, and baking soda is so cheap, it's dirt cheap. And you can use it to clean almost anything in a scenario where there is a shortage. So this is our video for 16 survival foods every prepper should have. Guys, please help grow this channel. Like, share, subscribe, and leave us a comment. We do know that the lists of every prepper does differ. There's always stuff that you can add, but this is the basic things that we suggest that you should have within your crates, stocked away for when your country collapses. This is South African Prepper. God bless.